Hi, hello, and welcome back to another Stardew Valley video. I know I kind of changed it last week. I know we spiced things up a little bit with the chaotic mess that was me trying to play the Oregon Trail. I will leave a link to it down below if you want to check it out if you haven't already. But yes, we're back to our usually scheduled content. And today, I have decided that I want to talk about Freud. Again. Well, again, for me, if you weren't here before, hi, I'm Lethe. I used to be Phlegathon for a while there, for like a whole month, I guess. And one of my first videos was about Freud and how he did not pass the vibe check because he honestly didn't. And I literally, the other day, privated all of my Phlegathon content because it just made me uncomfortable that they were there, and the quality is not good because I hadn't figured out how to properly use voice recording software stuff, and then I realized that I could just use my phone, and this is getting to be a long intro. I'm sorry, I keep babbling. You should be used to it by now, honestly. But yeah, and one of the stuff that I had to archive unpublish. Well, where was I going with that sentence? Was the Freud video that I actually kind of high key worked very hard on, is at least the scripting bit. And I'm here to do that again. Yes, I'm putting myself through the mess that is Freud for your viewing pleasure. And so that we just get off on the right foot. If you like Freud, leave. No, but if you really do like Freud, tell me why. Especially after you watch this whole thing, like if you still like him after the stuff I'm going to tell you, just explain why to me. I don't understand. Also, I've never had a psychology class in my life. I was lucky on that part. So yeah, I only knew him as a recurring character in the world's general knowledge bingo, that he came up with the Oedipus complex and just he is a horrible, horrible man, and I'm about to give you a watch mojo list of sorts that goes deep, deep into the reasons. Before we start, I just want to say real quick, I have included a full list of stuff that might be triggering down in the description with timestamps and all if you want to skip around or if you just don't want to at all. And if you decide that this isn't for you, you can't stand this man, that is extremely valid, and thank you so much for putting your own mental health first. I'm very proud of you. But without further ado, from the mildest to holy shit, what the fuck, let's first get to know our man of the hour, shall we? So, who was Sigmund Freud? He was born in 1856 and he unalived in 1939. He was a founding father of psychoanalysis, a method for treating mental illness, and also a theory which explains human behavior. He is also referred to as, quote, the father of psychology, end quote, and he played an important part in the creation of psychotherapy. Freud believed that events in our childhood had a great influence on our adult lives, shaping our personality. He had a total of 7 children with his wife Martha, Anna, Jean Martin, Ernest L., Mathilde, Oliver, Sophie, and again Martin. Anna is the most notable and important child because she was his successor. I can't put this off any further, so first things first. The most lighthearted thing I can start with is the fact that this man's hoarded. Sorry. He collected archaeological statues. According to an article on The Morning Call, a newspaper company in Pennsylvania, published in 1989, Mr. Freud had over 2,000 antiquities from ancient Greece, Rome, the Near East, and Asia. Apparently, it was acceptable at the time. However, I personally find it reprehensible. Oh, also, if hoarding wasn't enough, he also randomly handed small statues to his patients during analysis sessions. I hate that. I hate that he hoarded antiquities. I hate that he just handed them to his patients. This isn't a proper criticism, I am aware of that. However, I found it extremely funny when I first read about it. So here we go. He was judged unfit for a Nobel Prize. Um, so according to Julia Shaw, a writer on Scientific American, quote, he was nominated for 12 years, but the nomination ceased forever when the Nobel Committee engaged an expert who said that Freud's work was of no proven scientific worth, end quote. That was pure magic to my ears. That was pure music. It was a delight to read aloud. That made my day, it watered my crops, and cleared my skin. Expanding on the scientific worthlessness point, he not only did no experimenting, apparently, I honestly wouldn't know, his theories don't even meet the basic criteria for science. His ideas were, according to a philosopher of science called Popper, quote, unfalsifiable and purely anecdotal, and Freud was ridiculed for them. There are apparently, once again, I know nothing about science or Freud's theories, but there are apparently many fallacies in his theories, like there are no empirical evidence of his constructs, and some of his studies were proven to be manipulated. Like, the man has repeatedly been accused of faking the facts of his patients' cases to fit his theories. On numerous occasions, he attempted to manipulate his clients into donating money to him. In an article published in New York Times, it's revealed that, quote, in one little-known case that barely missed becoming a major scandal, researchers say, Freud induced 2 patients to divorce their spouses and marry each other. In addition, he hinted that the man should make a generous donation to his psychoanalytical fund, end quote. His propositions have never been proven universal. And before we get to the more hardcore stuff, a fun fact. I don't know how fun this is going to be, but it's apparently a fun fact. Freud was an avid cocaine user, and since it was legal at the time, apparently, he wrote multiple papers on the benefits of it, which are referred to as the cocaine papers. Though the bit that makes me super uncomfortable is the fact that he recommended and dealt coke to his friends and associates, one of whom being Ernest I. Marksov, I think I've read that correctly, who died from cocaine overuse. And it's only downhill from here, folks. He was a misogynist. Now you might be thinking, lethe, it was the late 1800s, early 1900s, every man, every woman, every dog, every bird was a misogynist. Well, first of all, I don't care. That's not a valid excuse. Second of all, Freud was worse than your average Joe. He considered women to be weak, vain, jealous, and lacking a proper sense of justice. He believed that women's problems stemmed from them not having a penis. His good old penis envy theory. He even went as far as claiming that women are the problem in society. There is literally no way I can prepare you for this point, so once again, please look at the timestamps, please look at the things, but apparently, Freud's father molested his own children, and that they all showed distinct symptoms of distress and trauma. Freud, our big man himself, wrote in one of his letters when he was psychoanalyzing himself, quote, unfortunately, my own father was one of these perverts and is responsible for the hysteria of my brother, all of whose symptoms are identifications, and those of several younger sisters, end quote. And, it is widely believed that Freud molested his first daughter and successor, Anna. Just thought I'd put it out there because it's a recurring theme that I kept seeing in these articles and answers and tweets and all that. Moving on to more misogyny. In letters, he called his wife Martha unskilled, unpretty, and deficient in personality. After she asked for a little respect, he wrote, quote, if I have become unbearable recently, just ask yourself what made me so, end quote. He tried to turn her against her mother, brother, and friend. After she bore him 6 children, he invited her sister to move in. And according to historian Peter Swales, he may have even gotten her pregnant, resulting in her having an abortion that nearly caused her death. He also reportedly began treating his wife like a maid and a nanny rather than, his wife. I want to congratulate old me from December for coming up with this, but I apparently deadass wrote Siggy Boy. Did I run out of ways to talk about him? I could just say Sigmund. Why did I write Siggy Boy? But okay. Staying true to the ancient text, if you will. I'm sorry, I don't know why this is cracking me up. Apparently, Siggy Boy believed that homosexuality in men was neurotic, but not particularly problematic. Lesbianism, however, was a gateway to mental illness. According to him, this is because only men have a moral sense. I hate him so much. He believed that boys acquire morality through the castration complex, the fear that their fathers will emasculate them for their misbehavior. Having nothing obvious to neuter, girls and women are essentially amoral, lying, and conniving to get what they want. Girls must be guided through civilized life by a father, and a woman by a husband. And because they choose not to marry, lesbians remain loose cannons, fundamentally untrustworthy and unstable. I hate him. His daughter Anna was his closest intellectual and emotional companion. She was also a lesbian. Apparently. Just saying, just putting it out there. Freud taught that lesbianism is always, can we underline that really quickly, please? It's always the fault of the father and is curable by psychoanalysis. He always cautioned his followers that analysis is an erotic relationship. Together, analyst and patient must scrutinize the amorous feelings that flow between them. This being the case, by rules he asked his followers to honor, Freud could not attempt to cure his own daughter's lesbianism. When Anna was 23 and enjoying an especially close friendship with another woman, he took her into analysis anyway. 6 nights a week, over several years, he and Anna analyzed and dissected her fantasies. Freud, in the end, failed to correct Anna's lesbianism. She enjoyed 54 years of happy monogamy with Dorothy Burlingham, the heir to the Tiffany fortune, which, can I quickly say, is extremely iconic behavior. So, now that I've put all of this cursed knowledge out there, once again, I'm going to never talk about Freud ever again. Please, don't make me talk about him again. I never want to think about this man, and I never want to do anything regarding including this man. I don't want any psychology lessons. However, if you want to talk about him down in the comments, I'm willing to just hate him. I'm willing to talk shit about Freud, and only that. I want nothing else to do with him. Also, I was originally going to talk about the horrid infantile sexuality theory too, but I can't stomach that. And please don't go looking for it. It's honestly horrible. I hate this man so much, and I would rather leave this video on that very sapphic note rather than make myself and probably you upset any further. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you coming this far. If you like this video, don't forget to give me a like, a comment, and especially if you're new here, subscribe. Your girl makes videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, for now at least. That may change in the future when my workload gets worse. And I'd like to think it's a good time. I'd like to think it's entertaining. Is it? Help. I don't know. I don't perceive anything regarding myself. But yeah, that's it from me for today. Hope you have a wonderful, lovely, magical day. Lethe out. Fuck Freud. All my homies hate Freud. Bye!